what poses exactly were you having a problem with?
I had a question with the downward facing dog and the upward facing dog.
Okay, it's a great place to start. Come on to all fours.
Okay.
Hands and knees. So the hands are directly beneath the shoulders. Nice, shoulders melting down the back. And then tuck your toes under. You're going to start to lift your hips to the ceiling, and as you do that, bring them back towards your heels at the same time. And you want to lift your shoulders up away from the ears, and then start to lift that energy all the way up and back. Perfect. So you keep your abdominal muscles engaged. This way you don't sink into your lower back, and you keep the hands pressing into the floor, and that way you don't sink into your shoulders. You almost want to squeeze your armpits towards your heart.
Okay.
Nice. Now for upward facing dog, come forward to a push-up position. If you need to walk your hands forward a bit under your shoulders, you can, and then drop your hips down.
Yeah.
And then you start to bring your shoulder blades together and open the heart up towards the ceiling. Keep pressing firmly in the hands. You now take the tops of the feet to the floor, but keep the thighs lifted. Beautiful. And then you're in a full upward facing dog. That looks really nice.
Well, what about chaturanga?
That's a hard one.
Okay.
Okay. So if you come onto the floor and lay on your belly, pushing the hands down alongside the heart, lifting the elbows straight up to the sky, you automatically feel your triceps engaged. And then drop the shoulders away from the ears once again, and take some of the weight out of the arms. Tuck your toes under and engage your legs again very firmly, almost as if someone's pulling some socks off your back ankles.
Okay.
And then use your abdomen along with the hands and the legs to lift yourself a couple inches off the floor, and that's your chaturanga.
Okay.
Yeah, nice. And then lower down. A lot of times, again, I tell people just to come all the way to the floor in the beginning until they can hold themselves up in that pose.
Okay, the next question I had was, other than the arms, what is the main difference between Warrior 1 and Warrior 2?
Okay, hips.
Okay,
We'll start there. Take a giant step forward, get into a big lunge, warrior stance, and drop that back heel.
Okay.
Perfect. You're bending your front knee forward, and you want to try to rotate both hips to face that front knee.
With my heel still on the ground.
Exactly. It's very hard because the outer edge of the right foot presses down firmly, and at the same time, you're trying to push the right hip point forward, bending through your left knee. Then the arms come up, and the palms press overhead.
Okay.
Now, as you open to Warrior 2, be careful that this knee doesn't roll in.
Okay.
And then look over your left fingers.
Okay. All right, well, what about the extended side angle? Because you're pretty much almost there, right?
Yeah, the extended side angle, you have the Warrior 2 legs.
Okay.
But we're adding a nice stretch now for the outer edge of the right side.
Okay.
And you're going to feel a little more in your inner thigh and outer thigh. So in the beginning, you can drop the left elbow on top of the left knee. Take this right arm all the way up overhead. Almost imagine like you're holding a big beach ball between both hands.
Okay.
And then you get energy from the outer edge of the right foot all the way through the right fingers. And as you advance, you can start to drop this hand down to the floor, either on the inside or the outside of the foot.
Okay.
With your hand on the inside, you can always use your shoulder against your knee to open up the hip even more. And then you get a hip stretch, an inner thigh stretch, your side waist is stretched, your arm is reaching. This gets everything pretty much.
Then I have one more thing.
Okay.
I swear I'm done. Need to know how to do the twisted lunge, right?
Let's do the opposite leg so you're not so tired.
Okay.
Bringing that right foot forward. Now, this is common because all of our warriors, we have that back heel dropped. Now, in lunge, you want to lift that heel and push through the ball of the foot. You can practice this at home even against a wall, just pushing your foot back into the wall.
Okay.
And this is your anchor, this back leg. It keeps your hips nice and square and firm as you twist with the upper body. So now you bring your left shoulder all the way to the outside of your right knee.
Okay.
And you can bring your hands to a prayer.
And twist it into it?
Exactly. And use your elbow against your knee to really start to twist and revolve open towards the ceiling. And again, there's all sorts of variations here you can start to progress into. Nice.
Okay. All right. Well, I wanted to thank you so much for your help and staying after to teach me these poses. And
Thank you.
thanks.